This 1 Degree Outside video is sponsored by the Topsfield Fair, America's oldest fair. You can pre-order your admission, meal, and ride tickets today at topsfieldfair.org and join the fun October 4th through 14th, conveniently located on Route 1, just off of Interstate 95.
Rain coming down on a Sunday evening. Looks like that rain will continue through the night, too. Hi, Matt Noyes, 1 Degree Outside Weather Network, 1degreeoutside.com, where you can find all of our videos, including today a web post, a blog post, because so many of you sent us in pictures of the stratus undulatus, the wavy-looking clouds that were in the sky. Really amazing stuff. If you missed the post on it, head to 1degreeoutside.com. You'll be able to read all about them, what they are, why they happen, and what they mean in terms of weather. Well, I can tell you what it means in terms of weather for now is the rain's going to continue through the course of the overnight tonight. In fact, here's the radar forecast. There's the rain off and on tonight, and then as we get to 7 a.m. on Monday, gone for many. Well, not entirely. The steady rain gone for many, but if I play between 7 a.m. and noon, you'll find there's still a couple of showers that pop up from time to time. What's interesting, too, though, is by midday, you begin to find some breaks of sun coming out in parts of southern New England. So there is absolutely vast improvement from mid-morning onward on your Monday. And I think that during the afternoon, while some of the fair weather clouds may bubble up a shower here and there, there's not a lot of rain at all that's going to fall in central southern New England. Different story in northern Vermont. In fact, look at this, the Northeast Kingdom, there could be a mix with snowflakes in the higher terrain on our Monday afternoon. That may carry up into Coos County and parts of northwestern Maine by the end of the day. For most of us, you get into drier air as the wind does kick up during the course of your Monday. As a matter of fact, what's happening is you get a storm center that's developing almost right over eastern New England. So tonight, the periods of rain, the cool temperatures, although they rise in far southern New England with a southerly wind, watch what happens on the wind. As I play things out through the overnight tonight, you can see, look at that. There's the storm center developing here, starting to pull a southerly wind over the Cape, starting to pull a northeasterly wind on the north side of the storm, and that only gets stronger. As the storm center moves east of the Annisquam and continues to move up into the Gulf of Maine and then eventually to the coast of Maine, it increases the wind out of the northeast on the north side so that pre-dawn Monday, you're gusting over 25 miles per hour in northern New England. But you're also yanking up a southerly wind on the other side of this counterclockwise storm circulation. So the Cape is going to get real gusty tonight into tomorrow, and that's going to be coming out of the south. Totally opposite directions, but it's a strengthening storm center. That barometric low pressure gets centered right across eastern Maine as we head into the midday on Monday, and behind it, under the belly of the storm, a southwest wind takes hold. That's the drying wind that does bring out the sun during the afternoon, but notice the gusts for everybody go over 25 and over 30 miles per hour as we head to the latter portion of the day on Monday. All of this, as you can imagine, creates an awfully cool school day feels like forecast for Monday. So it's the rain jacket in the morning, probably the ball cap as we get to recess, and then after school, there's not much in the way of showers, but it feels cool. The sweatshirt's a good idea. Look how chilly it is in the mornings that follow, and this brings in the frost potential we've been talking about here at 1 Degree Outside since early last week in the pattern prediction 2-week forecast. So let's get into that. First of all, Monday's highs are able to get 65 to 70 where that southerly wind kicks in, southeastern Mass. Most of us are 55 to 60 in the North Country, where I mentioned some snowflakes may come down in the higher terrain, stuck in the 40s, and that's it. On the bigger picture, as this storm kind of winds itself back up to the north, underneath it, you get that drier, cooler air. There still may be a couple of pop-up showers in the North Country on Tuesday. Most of us wouldn't worry about that. By Wednesday, there's probably not even that in the North Country. But nonetheless, what we will find is that colder air that comes into play, a chill during the day, and a frost chance by night. In fact, overnight Monday night, look at this, down to 32 degrees, perhaps as an overnight low at Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Now, we think there's enough wind that in some of these spots that are marginal, at 35, 36, you may not get a frost except for in the real sheltered valleys on Monday night. But Tuesday, we're talking about temperatures that never get beyond the 40s and 50s, which means that Tuesday night, much easier to get a frost to develop, even into north central Massachusetts, perhaps parts of northern Connecticut as well. And there are the snow showers falling in the mountains of the north where you see the blue that shows up. By the time we get to Wednesday, 40s and 50s for highs. That means Wednesday night, the frost chance expands south even more. This time it may come all the way south into even northern portions of New London County, for example, in central and southern Connecticut, into northern Rhode Island, into some of the metro west suburbs of Boston. There's a chance of frost because remember, you don't need to get to 32 to have a frost, although there's also a freeze chance everywhere you see that temperature dipping below 32 degrees. Thursday's not much better in terms of the daytime highs in the 50s. Thursday night, then, you still get the frost chance far and wide across a lot of New England. We think by the time we get along about Friday, that will start to ease a little bit. Don't forget Monday, the last day of the Topsfield Fair, and things are looking very good because remember, we talked about how those rain showers are going to be easing dramatically by the mid-morning. So it gets much, much better as you head through the course of the later morning, the midday, the afternoon. This cool stretch comes to an end by the weekend. Next weekend, look at that. An amazing 65 to 70. That's unusual for this time of the year. It's warmer than normal, but it looks like it'll last not just next weekend, into the middle of next week as well. That's how things look for now. Hope you have a great start to your week. We'll see you with another update early tomorrow morning at onedegreeoutside.com.